Hey guys, we'll get started in just a moment. AR, why don't you try talking?
I don't want to try talking. I just got off of a convention where I had to host 3 con events in a row.
How did that? Well, you can do it after we do the intro,
Yeah.
uh, and we can make sure they can all hear us. Dev, how are you doing?
I have to take a nap after this because I have to be at work at like 4 in the morning for inventory.
I've been doing lots of work. Ah, we'll just confirm that they can hear you guys, although I can see the little bars moving when you talk.
Wah, wah.
It was like almost a weirdly exciting week for a week that really should have felt like calmer.
I was busy preparing for convention, so I didn't let the hype get to me, even though I did wake up accidentally
Oh
to the
yeah,
live stream.
I saw you pop up on Twitter like right in the middle of it. I think.
It was like great. They were like wrapping up.
Yeah, I
And
saw like one random tweet from you. I'm like, oh, that's neat. AR's up, and I'm gonna fucking go to sleep.
Lucas woke us up at like 5 in the morning, and I
Ugh.
couldn't get back to sleep. So I'm like, okay, I guess.
Oh, did you mention that on Twitter that he woke
Yeah.
up? Okay, yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna.
he woke us up. I did
Okay.
not want to wake up
Oh
for
yeah,
it,
I was
but
gonna.
I woke up. I was awake for it anyway.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like my sleep's been weird lately, so I keep like having to keep track of actual conversations I've seen.
Your sleep's been weird lately.
No, it has. Like I've been going to bed around 2 or 3, which isn't that abnormal. Then I've been waking up at like 6 or 7, and then passing back out after 20 or 30 minutes of laying there. Let's see here. Okay, it appears they can hear you guys. You guys ready to go?
Yeah.
Yep.
See, I have to remember that YouTube switched the chat order thing so I can actually see it until it moves. Okay. Welcome to the With the Will podcast. We're here to entertain and inform a bit while talking about Digimon. I'm Mark, I run With the Will and produce Digimon on Blu-ray.
I'm AR Pulver, and I'm friends with Shoutmon now.
I'm DevQ, and I am not going to be sleeping at all this week.
I feel bad for you, Dev. I feel worse for me
As you should.
I feel worse for me for the weekend because it's like DigiFest. Also, Discotech has convention stuff, which I'll be covering on Twitter. At least it's not at the
And
time it was originally
Survive
going
stuff.
to be. It was
Oh
originally.
god, I forgot about Digifest even.
Oh
I
yeah,
have another busy weekend. It's not as bad as the convention, but it's another busy weekend for me.
Yeah, that's Digifest this weekend. We are
Oh,
on
boy.
the cusp of Digimon Survive to the point that people are getting it early and have it in hand and are already spoiling it on Twitter. Oh yeah, when I made that tweet earlier,
Everyone dies.
when I made that message earlier, people started tweeting at me going, "Well, you could use tags so people can get." I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm saying people are already spoiling it.
I will make a note to avoid the hashtag for
yes.
A while.
We are not going to spoil anything. I will make one joke with no context though, based on the achievements. You only get one achievement for evolving into a specific Digimon, and everyone can guess who it is without any spoilers.
Betsumon.
That would be the best one. But yeah, so lots happening this week, and the museum opens up this week. The BE pre-order, the 25th anniversary BE pre-orders open this week. It is literally like this is the week that everything has led up to for months and months and months, and goddamn, they need to slow down after this week because
and to make it
hope.
and to make it even weirder, it was a Rudy-based Ghost Game episode I actually liked.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and talk about this episode, Werewolf. It's a weird. The first is, did the art feel slightly more casual? Like it was less harder edge. Much more personality. Things were rounder. Things were more fun. It's
rural. I don't know what that means, but it was more rural.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then we get this is the first episode where it feels like they used horror movie imagery correct. Like the themes and stuff, they weren't just kind of sitting there. They were actually used to some degree.
Yeah.
And then that's where I actually got disappointed by fans. I'm like, wow, this is the first episode that they really properly used horror movie imagery and it felt good. And then I saw on Twitter, this is the most horror movie episode of Digimon ever, and they show a screenshot that there was blood in the flashback at the end, and they're like, blood. And I'm like, you missed the whole thing.
All of the other stuff.
You missed all the neat stuff. We get someone running in the rain. Yep. They get nabbed. It does the nice switch to the phone call about that, which is exactly what you want to see in horror imagery.
Honestly, I think they made a mistake in putting this in the city. I think this show might have been better in a small town.
Yeah.
See, here's the problem. If you put the series in a small town, then it turns into Scooby-Doo.
Well, that or Murder
As if it isn't
already. But that's not on purpose. by having them in the city, you get to frame it around that it's stuff happening in a place where it doesn't necessarily make sense to. If they're just in the weird, spooky, tiny town with weird shit happening, that was a literal season of 2 seasons of Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind them traveling and
I-
getting in more.
Am
I don't mind it when they go
I
on the
wrong,
road.
or have we been happy almost every time they've like traveled or done anything weird?
Just about. I think it's been refreshing when they go on the
Yes.
road. It hasn't always
Yeah.
been great, but it's been refreshing. I don't want it to be Scooby Doo, but I would definitely settle for Supernatural.
And
I mean,
then
like season 1 Supernatural, when they're just bouncing around and there isn't a whole ton of plot yet.
we get the first moment where the episode actually trips. When they arrive, the woman recognizes Ruli because her eyes match her grandma's, which great like
Okay.
thematic thing there.
Yeah.
And the place they trip is where everyone's looking at the AI holograms oddly because they could be the ones doing it because they don't understand AI holograms. Except
Yeah,
they set up all throughout the fucking episode though that the town has a werewolf that they all like expect
they
this to
know.
happen. So
And there also are holograms elsewhere in
Yeah,
town.
that's
like
what's
the
Yeah, they
police
literally
tape.
have like a police tape one.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
police tape
It's-
was still a hologram.
it's
I
like-
don't mind. I would have rather just, instead of having like them thinking it that like the allies might be the werewolf, I think that they should just have a little bit of trepidation
yeah,
about holograms in general. I
No.
would have much preferred
no,
that.
that would be fine, and that's why I said this is one of the few places this episode trips is they stop to like, ooh, it could be. It's like no,
No, it's not them.
And then Goramon, I
How
don't.
dare you accuse Gamamon of that?
Every time he sits somewhere and like they have to deal with his size, where he's just sitting in the truck bed, and then this is where Kiyoshiro gets shown as the stupidest person in the show. He's freaking out because it's not going to be a relaxing vacation. When has it ever been when he's with them?
And he wants to jump out of a moving vehicle, like that's gonna help.
Yeah, and then
I mean, considering what happens in general, it probably can't hurt more than usual.
Yeah. Now, here's the other weird. Okay, so the guy attacked by the werewolf, and he has the handprint on him. Am I wrong, or has Ghost Game done this like 2 or 3 times?
I wonder. Oh,
Well, they did like
if
the
it wasn't-
poison thing with
Because
the
Kiyoshiro a few episodes ago.
quoted Kugamon.
if it wasn't Ghost Game, I'd wonder if there's something up with this poison.
Yeah, and then they beg Ruli for help because that's why she came there, and that's where you need to like stop the show to have Ruli give him like the evil eye.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Because I came here. And then we get the old story of wrath and blood and werewolf. The Moon Maiden, Ruli's family used to rule the area, so it's her job. And they apparently sacrificed a relative 100 years ago, which is fun.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently this is like a big thing in the town, but Ruli has no idea what the fuck's going on. And I don't necessarily have an issue with that. It just
if that's a big thing in the town, I see why her
moved out of like the rural town.
Yeah, and that's why their parents, her parents moved.
But that's also like a very horror movie thing. Like you go back to the town that you grew up in, and it turns out there was a secret thing that somehow everyone knows about except you. And I think is this the first time Ghost Game went with a wah, 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 horror movie riff?
I believe so.
I don't think we've gotten like you know what I'm talking about, right, Dev? Like when they would stop.
Yes.
Like it wasn't a violin. I think it was like a piano for this one, but like it was very much the horror movie like.
There's actually a specific instrument that makes those noises. I forget what it's
Theremin?
called.
I'd have to listen to it.
A theremin?
I'd have to listen to it again.
Might be.
It's probably a theremin.
I don't think see. It sounded more like a piano than like a violin or a theremin. I could be wrong though, but it is the first time when I think Ghost Game actually had like horror music.
I'm pretty good at recognizing instruments. I should go back and find that.
And I also like where they like, oh, the power box got ripped apart. It's a bear. Then that's when the camera moves to show you like that it can't have been a bear. I mean,
it wasn't a bear, people.
No, and that's great. Then they blame Ruli's aunt because they can't murder her because she's not blood related. Like at one point,
I kind of like that only like half the town was like, yeah, go ahead, sacrifice the child.
So
like, there were enough people. There were enough people, and there's like, maybe like sacrificing a child.
I don't like that. And here's why. They have all of like 3 seconds of that when like, and this is a bit later, Ruli's like, I volunteer to be the sacrifice, and people are like, can we really sacrifice a girl? Then like 2 seconds later, kill the girl, kill her. And it was like, it was all of 2 seconds, and it didn't even like make sense. It was the same people. They only
I
like,
thought it was this. I'm pretending it wasn't the same people.
no, but it was like
Or
two,
maybe
it was like 2 seconds apart. If they had like done any framing, I would have liked that better, but I don't think it worked in that context.
it ultimately doesn't matter.
No, it does.
because
It
that
doesn't.
wasn't the focus of it.
It only
so
it
I'm
only
like,
it only mattered
the
because you
fact
brought
that
it up
there
as a
was-
positive. Is the only
just
reason it came.
I just appreciated that there was some restraint over sacrificing
Oh.
the 12-year-old.
And the most important part of the episode, Angoramon says fuck off anyone who wants Digimon to be old legends, and thereby not being Digimon in the first place. And Goramon asks about the werewolves. He's like, well, this shit's been going on for 600 years. It's not a Digimon.
Yeah, that's not a Digimon.
Yeah. And then,
Like,
Spoiler alert, it kind of was.
and then the
it's like Angoramon just shooting down the entire premise of Digimon Survive the week before it comes
And
out.
then
Good job, dude.
the single most important flaw the episode make, Jellymon is helpful and does not ask for anything. We see her sneaking around taking photographs of shit, and at no point does she point out that she's owed something for this.
I think it was just that the idea of being able to sneak around and do sneaky stuff was
You think
reward
that's
enough
it?
for her. I think she was
Okay.
happy. It's like if as long as she gets to do it surreptitiously, I think she's fine with helping.
I really am happy with this is the first film that actually has like the vibes of a horror movie. Kiyoshiro like, we need to get the fuck out of this town right now. Right now, this is the way this works. If we don't get out of here, someone might die. And then Hero's like, maybe we should go ahead and leave. And Ruli's like, no, I'm not going to leave because of any superstition. It would feel like losing somehow.
This is the times when I like Rudy. I like it when she gets a little snippy at them.
No, but that's the funny part. She's being snippy in like most of the time when she's snippy, I can kind of see it. In this one, it's purely that she thinks this would be losing in some way for something she's not involved in.
But this is something. The reason I really appreciated this episode is that this doesn't necessarily show us anything new about Rudy, but it kind of encapsulates all of the aspects in her character in a nice, tidy package where we actually begin to understand it. And one of the elements of that is that it's when you notice that this is when she gets snippy when she's starting to get a little overwhelmed by what's happening. That's when you notice that she starts to get a little bit angry when she's not really confident of what's going on. Yeah. That's when she begins to lose her temper around Hiro and Kiyashiro.
Yeah. And then we find out she's pretending to be... I don't know why I was so amused by the other characters, like being in the procession, like Hiro pulls the hood over the hoodie.
Yeah, Hiro pulling the hood was like... I don't know if he was disguising himself or like, it's raining. I don't want to get my hair wet.
I assumed it was kind of raining and just for atmosphere.
Yeah, it's like...
And also, I don't remember if this was true earlier in the episode. Did anyone notice that Gamamon wasn't even in hologram mode at this point? Like, he's just walking around. And no one seems to notice.
They're like, that can't be the werewolf.
Yeah. And then the old lady's there because she thinks Ruli's going to run away. And we go back to it later. And we get the nice howl, trees fall. Ruli just decided that maybe she's being stupid. And hey, look, it's Manticoremon.
That's the other thing about... That's another thing. Not this other thing. Another thing about Rudy's character. It's like, okay.
At the last minute, she realizes she's being stupid. They should be out of there.
She's very eager to be stupid in times like this, where I
probably thought it was going to be literally like Scooby-Doo, where she's going to like pull the mask off of some old man.
I gained much more appreciation for Rudy's recklessness in this. It's a very interesting kind of recklessness.
I want to point out what Dev said, because that kind of feels like exactly what was going on. Dev, I think you're right, where it feels like she thought it was going to be some kid doing a prank, and she was going to like unmask them and win.
Yeah.
And then Angoramon's like, there shouldn't be a Manticoremon here. It should be within it. It's like, I think we can tell that the giant thing beating up the forest probably shouldn't be there. I think
it should not be there. Yeah.
I'm also kind of disappointed because I was hoping it was going to be like Cerberumon or like the actual werewolf Digimon that they have like half a dozen of.
I liked the switch on that. That was like, okay, that was something like no one was gonna guess that.
And then
Good.
the chase the chase begins, and Goramon evolves to Simbare, and because they didn't catch up in time, Betel and Tesla do not get an evolution sequence, and Betel immediately gets jabbed with poison. And then, hey, look, the evolution of Thetismon, she can heal, and then she gets whacked too.
That she gets whacked immediately. I loved it.
And what's even funnier is then Thetismon's like, oh, it's so good that I've been poisoned. Now I can make an antidote. It's like,
good, I can make my antidote now.
And then Simbare gets slammed into the forest. Really like stopping and like being politely ranting at it is very horror movie, and I kind of love it, even though it's very stupid. Like, where like she stands there, she's like, "I'm not scared of you, monster I was screaming at 5 seconds ago. You can't do anything to me, minus ripping me apart."
She just went straight up Belmont.
Yeah. and then Simbari gets up, we get Lemortmon, and I think this might be my favorite of the perfect evolution, like the sequences. It felt much
Visually,
more...
it's very
the sequence,
I like it.
yeah, the sequence for sure.
And then he's very big, and then 90% of his screen time is just doing like the pushing thingy. Me protect, and then he's the Hulk. Me protect Ruli. Then we get a few slashes, and Darkmon shows up, and oh, it wasn't Manticoremon's fault. He accidentally mind controlled himself.
But yeah, I did, and that's another. I appreciated that Rudy. Another aspect of Rudy that you kind of get a feel for is that she knows in the back of her head that even if things go horribly wrong, which they usually do, that Angoramon's gonna have her back.
That's an interesting in-universe cheat. Not in the sense of the show, but like the character only does this stupid stuff because she knows she's not going to actually have to be the one to deal with it.
But then, watching Lemortmon just wail on this thing kind of gives her
a bit. Like he only did it a few times.
She told him to stop.
Yeah, but still,
I don't think it's gonna. I doubt that it's gonna lead to anything. But
that seemed
his fluffy tail.
See, that's the thing
she
for
seemed
me.
A little bit okay, we need to stop.
It's only interesting if there's any follow-up on it.
Perhaps.
Like, if Lemortmon is not the Hulk in the future, then it kind of doesn't matter. Yeah. And it's also what I think is the biggest issue with the episode. And this isn't a huge issue, but it's an issue. What was the point of doing all the werewolf theming? It feels like that somehow should have been integrated into the evolution in some way, and not just been coincidentally, and he's kind of werewolfy.
Yeah.
Like,
it felt kind of like
it was. Yeah, it's more like there wasn't really any.
It's like
ultimately there wasn't a whole lot of werewolf stuff because it didn't there was no like full moony.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, it's like the entire episode was based around the evolved form, but it has nothing to do with anything that happens in any form. Is my main issue with it. I'm not saying I expected it, but I would have liked something to happen to Angoramon that causes this, and not just be, and now she has to evolve, and now he has to evolve.
Yeah, but
and then
I don't know. I'm okay with it. I do hope they build on it a little bit more. But what we got, I appreciated, and I did like that they set up the possibility.
Yeah, and then the explanation is Manticoremon ate data about the story, which kind of shoved him into believing it was. Darkmon fixes it, and then leaves after promising it won't happen again.
All that, and it was indigestion.
Yeah. Then they muse on the fact that story-wise there was something going on, and Goramon comments they see the old woman, and we get a flashback to the old woman explaining the real story, which was fine. I mean, it's like the
Beauty and the Beast.
It's the very stereotypical story, and then we hear the howl on the wind, and it's not clarified if Ruli's actually hearing something, if she's imagining it, so nothing but the wind, unless they go back, in which case we'll see, which we will not.
Probably not.
But that's like the actual horror movie ending is we see the
that's
truck
true.
leaving the small town, the person looking out the window, and you see or hear something to suggest it's not over.
Yeah. But it probably is.
And then Manticore the study files this time. I liked it. It was kind of disjointed though, but it was a good enough episode that I feel like it got past that. The main issue is it feels like this was a longer episode at some point.
It could
have definitely been made like a two-parter.
Yeah.
But
It feels like there was enough interesting stuff there. I'm still very happy that for the first time, like, we actually got horror movie theming and not just like one random shot of a crow. Like,
and I'm happy
ominous calling.
I'm just happy that I feel like I understand Rudy now as a character.
A bit more, I think.
Yeah, it's just that all of the things kind of clicked. All of the elements of her personality kind of clicked here, and I'm good with it.
Also,
now let's see if they take it somewhere.
Also, am I wrong, or was last week a Rudy episode?
I would not call that a Rudy episode.
I didn't say a good Rudy episode.
I would not call that an anybody episode, if I'm being completely honest.
But like it had a focus on her until it forgot she existed to make her a gecko.
it just decided that she was going to be the victim last week.
Fair enough. No, that's fair enough. But yeah, I'm reasonably.
You are now a lizard.
Yep.
And then, are you ready for our guest cast? Hiroka Mori Wasachi. For Digimon, she was Hackmon and Jessmon in Cyber Sleuth.
Oh, nice.
And among her best-known roles is probably Chaozu in Dragon Ball.
Huh.
Darkmon was Mitsuki Saiga. She was Hiroya in Hunters. And this is like this is
I don't know who that was. I don't even remember who that was.
Random person.
I guess.
There
were plenty of those in Hunters, so carry on.
She's continuing the theme of the actors and actresses who just like we couldn't even start with their stuff. So Yelena in Attack on Titan, Makoto in Genshiken, Rossio in Gurren Lagann, Tsukasa in Dot Hack, and she's also been Link in a few Zelda games.
That is definitely why it sounds familiar.
Yeah. We just need one slashing of her going, yeah.
Yeah.
Masoya Takatsuka was Manticoremon. He was Magnamon in Cyber Sleuth, Manpomon in Adventure 2020, and earlier in Ghost Game, he's been Unimon, Saberdramon, and Sangloopmon.
I was going to say the Magnamon and Cyber Sleuth, I think we had that come up before.
Yeah, and people also know World Trigger, Prince of Tennis, One Piece, lots of stuff there. And last up, Sakura was Fumi Mizuzawa, her first time in Digimon. She plays like the little kid in a lot of stuff, and I believe Sakura's the aunt. She's been in
the adult.
She's been in Battle Spirits, Duel Masters. She's one of the Pretty Cure characters. She was like two of the little kids in Eureka 7. So like it's like, oh, she could drive now. She's not playing the kid. Good for her.
I think that was just like a one-time change of pace for her.
Yeah. And the next time we get Labyrinth of Grief. See, here's the problem. I know what I want from this episode just from the title, and I won't get it.
The title, I know the synopsis of the episode, and the title just is way too cute for that.
No, here's the problem. And this isn't fair to the show.
No.
When I see the word labyrinth, I'm like David Bowie walking
you just
around.
Want David Bowie to show up.
Because that's the thing is like you want a scene-chewing villain, someone to do shit, and like that's just not gonna and that's not fair to expect it to do. But just call it like Maze of Grief, because the instant you say labyrinth and it's a show that claims to be horror themed, you're expecting
you just want a really glammed up.
No, and here's the thing. If they did that and everything else failed, we'd probably still be happy because it'd be so fucking amusing.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
What was it? The Grand Drachmon in Rear Eyes was like super glam. I could go for that.
No, like literally do that. Then when it's dubbed, have the person do a David Bowie impression.
Mm-hmm.
I'd kill for that. That would work so well. And see, like Ian's like, oh, he's thinking Minotaurmon will show up because Labyrinth, because it brings up like so much image. Yeah, and then
the synopsis doesn't quite go there.
No, and it's not fair of us to expect it from the title. It's not. Yeah. But the problem is they They've
The
gone.
tighter is cooler than what we're actually going to get.
We've gotten a
Well, that's the thing is the synopsis does seem kind of it does have potential.
Yeah, we'll see though.
It just has nothing to do with the title.
I will say this: Ghost Game has done very well with having short titles that make you wonder,
Mm-hmm.
and that's something that
Ghost Game honestly has some of the best Japanese episode titles of the franchise.
Yeah,
that's not a high bar.
No, it's not. But
I appreciate it much more than a lot of the ones we've gotten in other seasons.
Yeah, like light novel titles.
Yeah,
exactly. I'm very happy to get like the short titles, and I don't have to like keep a whiteboard on hand with the whole title written out to remember it. It's like,
because if this was another season, this episode would have been titled "La Mortmon, Werewolf of the Moon Maiden," something crap like that.
Yes, it would have literally been it would have been
with a giant exclamation point.
No, here's what it would have been called. Are you ready? Werewolf and the Moon Maiden, comma, Le Mortmon strikes, exclamation point, exclamation point.
Yep. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yes. And then moving on from Ghost Game, Michael Reynolds passed, which he had a good run. He was 92.
Yeah.
Damn.
Most people listening would know him as Jedi, and he also wrote a handful of episodes in season 1. And this is the thing that even after I said it, you had a bunch of other people and a bunch of voice actors saying it also. Michael Reynolds had the best old man voice there was, to the point that if you listen to other people's old men voices, they're imitating Michael Reynolds. Like in a bunch of anime, if you hear an old man and it's not Michael Reynolds, there's at least a 50% chance they're imitating Michael Reynolds.
Now I want to go back and listen to Cody's dad to see if I can catch an impersonation. Or Cody's grandpa in 02.
Yeah. But yeah, he was already like the known, like in the era of dubbing Robotech. Like Rebecca Forstad even pointed out, when she started, he was already the old guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We don't have any further information about that, but he was a very good old man. He was also really good at playing monsters. Like, Power Ranger fans remember him really well as Captain Mutiny, among other monsters. Captain Mutiny is only in like 2 or 3 episodes. Which was the stupidest thing about Power Rangers Lost Galaxy. He was the villain of the Lost Galaxy that they're only in for 3 episodes in the show.
Oh,
It's like the show never got to the Lost Galaxy, then they did it a few episodes from the end, and then they immediately leave it and blow up Captain Mutiny.
Like Lusamon and Frontier.
Yes, it's like they plotted out what was going to happen, didn't get to it because of other things happening that year in the season, and then they get to it and they're like, oh shit, we better actually have the Lost Galaxy appear. But yeah, his Captain
you just know Ghost Game's gonna do that too, don't you?
Yeah, but
yeah.
His Captain.
A lot of seasons do that.
His Captain Mutiny was great, but really, like, is there any role that you can think of for him more than Jedi, which is playing the goofy, friendly old man?
Yeah. That was definitely the iconic voice.
Yeah. And here's the thing: did he have a single scene where he didn't like steal the scene in?
I don't think so.
Like, every fucking line he had was fucking gold.
Listen to the floaty glowing guy.
Yes. And then there was the one where he's ranting about like they have to upgrade his internet.
Oh yeah.
Was that in the movie? That may have been in the movie.
I don't remember.
But yeah. Then from that we have a couple of anniversaries for anime. Revival of the Ancient Digimon has its 20th anniversary. Do you know how many people were like, "Oh, I'm fucking old now," when they realized that movie's 20 years old?
I was just gonna say, it's like that's funny that happens the same week as a Darkmon shows up in an episode.
They pointed that out on Digimon Web social media, that it had been 20 years since she had shown up in anime. And then it's the 22nd anniversary of when Digimon Adventure 3D Digimon Grand Prix showed up at Pearl Land as the ride, where it ran for about 2 years.
Okay.
I love when anime just like is like, we remember wacky races. Here is wacky races. And that is entirely what that short is. It's
Yeah,
wacky races.
totally.
And it's nothing else. And I don't know why I love that.
It
And
makes me want to watch it again.
no,
Just
yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. And then the Vital Heroes out. Not much to say about this at the moment, just because we already sort of know all of it, but
We know the deal with the Vital
it's out.
bracelet.
You can find it.
It's out now.
The one thing we do know is, since people got it, it is programming wise just a Digivice V. They said Digivice V, but then they started saying shit that was like based on the original Vital bracelet, and it confused the hell out of people. At this point, we know safe it is basically just a Digivice V. So you know what you're getting. What's interesting is
I haven't seen it locally yet, but my partner has where they live.
I think the first reports I saw of people seeing it in person was maybe earlier today or yesterday. I think. But when did
Saw
they
it a
see
few
it,
days
Dev?
ago.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay, a few
at
days ago then.
least 3 or 4 days ago.
Okay. Yeah. I think people were so excited by people getting them in the mail, it kind of lost track on if you could actually find them in person for a bit. Yeah. And then we had the pre-DigiFest stream. Uh, thanks.
Yay, Otadamas.
Yeah, the Frontier Otadamas were like the actual announcement thing. And I have to say, like, that they did a whole set of them and they look really fucking nice. I'm really happy
They're
by.
very cute.
Like, that's exactly what you should get for Frontier.
Mm-hmm.
Yumi Miyazaki called in by the phone, and I felt like they should have had like a circle with a photo of him or something.
Yeah.
And then I'll change the slide for Taguchi Toku, because this is where like it was amusing and it also fell apart. So they accidentally announced that how the movie's Digimon Adventure 02 at the beginning, and a lot of people are like,
that made
oh.
it into my, and I put that in my slideshow for
So
the
here's the
panel
funny
this
part.
weekend.
I think I saw that slide. Did you put that on Twitter?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So a lot of people went, oh, that was fake. No, that wasn't, and here's how I know. If you ever watch Japanese streams of stuff ever, they love to put the script or the storyboards or something for the producer to randomly hold up. And then the camera person will zoom in on it. And they did that, and then all of a sudden you heard him say something, and the camera shot to the fucking right.
And he'd like slap that down.
Yes.
Like immediately, like oh,
yes.
And there, you could tell he was flustered for the next few minutes.
Yeah. And here's the thing. Honestly, it shouldn't have been there in the first place in this case, because literally all they showed was one redacted page, which I don't think was even in that booklet, and one storyboard. They should not have had it there for him to grab, although ironically, I think the person you'd blame for that is probably him, because he probably would have been the producer overseeing this event. So it's one of those things where it's like, it's not his fault. That's exactly what you expect. And it's like, he would technically probably have been the person who should have said, shouldn't be there.
Oops.
Oopsie.
And then, from people not paying attention, they're already confused by the title, wondering if this is a reboot sequel to 2020.
Oh, good lord.
I'm not kidding, because people saw the word "the beginning," and because they haven't paid attention, they don't know that the actual only plot detail we know is that it apparently involves the first Digidestined / chosen child / whatever term.
Presumably the kid on the cover.
Which, yeah, and here's the flaw there is that really fucking looks like Daisuke.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
It always just looked like generic spiky-haired kid.
Yeah.
And a blob.
Yeah. And then the embarrassments continued as Taguchi got embarrassed by pointing out, how nice it was that they were able to get Taguchi there, because he's busy with Natsuzen. He's in charge of the new Bleach. He's looking like embarrassed because it's like they're just going through all the stuff he's done. And then they detail how the movie came together, which actually isn't like, it sounds very interesting and strange until you remember like what happened in 2020.
Yeah.
Because basically it was Taguchi didn't get an offer until October 2020, and he wasn't expected at the time because when Kazuna came out and it did decent, they didn't say anything. He just kind of went, okay, I guess we're not going to do more. But you have to remember, movie came out right as COVID was starting. A new show launched a month and a half later. The companies then, like Toei, put all their stuff on hiatus so they could rework what they're doing. And it appears we can reasonably date him getting the offer to like right after it came out in the US. And literally the only things that were ahead of it or near it to any degree was the first season of Star Trek Picard and Hocus Pocus. Because if it's Halloween, Hocus Pocus outsells fucking everything.
Yeah.
And he was told he wasn't actually told what to do. All they wanted was the O2 kids to be in it, which he's mentioned this before. Like Kazuna was not going to have the O2 kids in it at all. Seki Hirobi said to him while they were making the movie they should find some place to put them.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And since it's being
Having
released,
ramen.
basically, yes. They showed the storyboard looks nice, but it is a very basic storyboard. Interestingly, I guess he's not doing the storyboards this time. Like, the staff are all Digimon people, and he knows he can trust them, so he's not really doing that this time. Plus, he's working on a lot more than he was at the time. They also comment that all the redacted stuff may not even be in the plot anymore at this point. And they're also being like very cagey about, is it like it's the same world as Kazuna and it's shortly after, does it deal with any of the plot stuff in Kazuna? And they kind of aren't commenting, which probably means yes. You'd think it would. And they also won't clarify what the hell they're showing at DigiFest. We know it's the first scene, and it's probably that ramen scene.
Yeah,
It feels like it's going to be storyboards with some audio and maybe a bit of animation. It does. The way they keep talking about this makes
it animatic quality.
They're preparing us for disappointment in that scene.
Which is why it's fun to see on Twitter all the people going, there's going to be a trailer released right after.
Yeah.
And look, here's the thing. If they did somehow throw up a trailer, I'd be neat. I'm not expecting us to get shit. Here's what I'm expecting us to get. The title. Because they're also doing that very, very official thing of pretending the title wasn't there to the degree. So here's the thing. After I put up the translations, which Onke translate everything, and I go through and I make sure the terms are what we normally use. I clean up stuff and I add any commentary. I always make sure Onke gets to look through everything because, I'm saying it's her translation. I clean stuff up as needed, so I make sure she gets her say. I hear nothing back from her, and then I see her responding to my tweets about it on Twitter, going, I didn't know they'd put up the recording, but literally it's just a full recording and they've blanked out the logo.
Oh.
Like they blurred it out like it's not there. Yeah, because I didn't hear back from her, and I'm like, ooh, that's odd. She must be busy. Then I notice I have a response on Twitter.
Another argument for they really didn't mean to.
Yeah, her only comment about it was that they blurred out the logo. And Taguchi once again brings up his favorite movie is Golden Digimentals.
Bunnies.
He does point out that he likes that they took chances. They certainly took chances.
Here's the thing: if you dig through all the interviews, here's the Digimon stuff he likes the most: Adventure, of course, War Game, Movie 3, and he brings up Try a lot. Which is weird because that's when people he hates Try. That's why the movie ignored it. It's like, man, he talks about Try more than we do.
Kazuna was extremely nice to Try.
I know, that's where people are trying to build their own idea.
People want to pretend that Kazuna ignored Try. Kazuna absolutely did not.
I still think
it's the same darn themes, honestly.
I still think the funniest interview was the one where he talks about Try deeply inspiring him and how it inspired the path of the movie. It's like, I'm not sure I'd go that far, but it's nice of him to, he loves movie 3, which
I can see it if that's true.
oh, it's true. He's commented on it a lot, and you can tell where he likes movie 3 because that stuff from that shows up in Kazuda.
Yeah,
Plot,
yeah,
like
definitely.
characterization wise, so it really does make sense.
And Kazuna does it better, but yeah.
To be fair, what doesn't do it better than movie 3?
Fair.
Yeah. And then, because Digifest is coming up, Feel Me always likes to have some sort of exclusive Digimon stuff, and they're going to do bromide prints because they're going to have CDs there. I would like to know what CDs will be there because they often resell those online after. And man, don't you love like the exact set of 4 they did? It's the exact minimal for O2 and Frontier.
I mean, they had Koichi instead of Ken. It's about the only thing close to a surprise there.
True.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. It is Frontier's year. O2 is going to get its year very soon.
Complaining. Like,
no,
I like that
I
they
know.
gave
but
when 3-1, but
yeah, but like O2 is going to get its year very soon. So I'm happy there. And then they announced the museum stuff. I will say this looks very nice.
Yeah.
I wish I could actually see it in person. That looks like a very fun thing that I would enjoy specifically.
I like that they just had that one little side of the window where you see Tri and Atmon going, yep, we still acknowledge them. Suck it.
Well, to be fair, they still acknowledge Tri all the time. Atmon could use a bit more love, though.
Yeah.
But they do make a point that anytime there's an event like this, the promo images you can always see something Atmon in, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we're gonna get a new short, which that will be in a day or two. And oh man, don't you love like the horrible little CGI render of Espimon? God, you know what it reminds
It's so
me of?
creepy looking.
You know what it reminds me of? I'm gonna say it, and you're both gonna get upset. Are you ready? It's the Great Gazoo.
Oh.
Like, look at that photo. You got the guy sitting there, and he looks slightly upset, like Fred would be, and you have the goofy-looking thing floating next to him with a big, giant fucking head. It's the Great Gazoo.
Stop.
See you next time, Dum Dum.
Painful.
It's the Great Gazoo.
I shout it's the Great Gazoo before biting his head off when I have Flintstones vitamins.
So they're gonna have a bunch of art.
Was Great Gazoo one of the vitamins?
I don't recall. I don't think he is one of the vitamins, is he?
Yes, he is.
Is he still?
Yes.
Good for him. Good for him. So the museum.
Also comes in peach
I am,
flavor.
by the way, still amazed that Flintstones vitamins still are a thing.
To be fair,
the vitamins are more iconic than the show.
To be fair, I'm pretty sure they still themed the Fruity Pebbles after them.
Yes, they do.
Yes,
oh yeah, they do.
So the museum's open 3 days later this week. Toys will be on display. Artwork. We better get fucking photos of this giant Greymon statue that they're doing for photos. They have all the V-Pets. The people who pay attention to the bad V-Pets are very excited because I guess in one of the photos you can see that Australian-only one.
Ooh.
That randomly shows up in photos but they never talk about.
I wish my friend lived closer because then I could just bribe her to go over and take pictures, but no, she's...
See, I did that for Limited Base a few times. Where someone I knew was like close enough to head over.
Yeah, she's pretty far away.
And then we get the nice little map image of all the organizations. And I'm pretty sure some of these Digimon we didn't know were in these groups. Like,
I didn't look closely at that, but I'm glad it exists.
Yeah, like, I hope we get a high resolution because some of, like, for example, the one that I think is the Crack Team, they show High Androm there. I don't think we knew he was part of that group.
I feel like I want there to be a high-res version so I don't have to try, I want to read through it, but I don't want to, squint at it.
They will also, and remember when they said when they do the illustration contest, they do the cards, they may use the art elsewhere, they're going to have those on display with new art from Kenji Watanabe and others. They're going to have meet and greets. Man, here's the thing. Is it just going to be statues, or do you think they're going to have new suits of Vmon and Gilmon?
Ooh.
Because they say Agumon, Vmon, Gilmon, Gamamon.
But what else would you use those for?
But here's the thing. They also say
the Gilmon one at least.
They say along with others. Well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have an idea. You're not going to like it when I say it. They have a backup Agumon suit.
Agumon Hakase?
No, tear off the outside. Make a new
Make it
one that's
good.
identical but red. Put the wings on and add like the theming, and just have it be
maybe.
Because here's the thing.
I mean, it's
You
rough
definitely
because I
could get
think
away with it.
Guilmon's bigger than
so
Adventure Agumon, isn't he?
okay, but here's the thing. If they do a mascot costume, it's not to scale.
No, but
they always have that like kind of like big head, chibi kind of.
I'm just skeptical. It's like it's a lot of work for like one event, and what else are you going to use?
Well, so
Guilmon
here's what Guilmon might be. The old Guilmon promotional statue still exists. They don't bring it out. They don't bring it out often, but it still existed as of 3 or 4 years ago. It was still on display at one of Toei's theme parks, in fact. So they could have just put that in storage, pull it out. It's still there. Hell, the Savers ones, we know the Agumon still exist. The Lalamon and Galmon ones must also, because they say, along with others, they could pull out the Lalamon statue. It was this tiny fucking little thing. It was on like a pole, and like for people to pose with.
Meat nunchucks.
They're gonna have the shredded remains of whatever's left of the Catchmon costume.
And then here's where it gets fun and stupid. If you show the Digimon Partners membership screen, you get a Frontier postcard. And if you follow and retweet a specific tweet from Digimon Web and show the retweet on your phone, you get a sticker. Just give people the postcard and sticker.
Yeah.
Just give. Then merchandise, as we know. This stuff will be there, and a lot of it will go up online also. We get the hoodies and shirts we've seen.
I don't really like the shirts.
So here's the interesting thing about the wall scroll. I don't mind what they've done because it makes sense. One, it's a little bit boring.
Yeah, it's just
and
kind of
two,
okay.
It is themed after the one they did for the 20th anniversary, where they did the exact same thing, but they had the anime heroes. But that had new art.
They could have done better with this one.
Yeah, here's the thing.
Just okay.
So yeah, that's the weird thing. I like the design. It just feels lazy. And then talk about lazy, the acrylic boards doing the same thing. I don't know why. Like I'm slightly amused by the dramatic acrylic dimension versions. Like half of them don't even make sense.
They're just fun and silly.
I think I like them because they actually are like attack themed. Like if you look at the Numemon one, it's like stink lines and poop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and those will be online. And they will have the Espimon and Ryudomon dim early. That's neat. And they've already said it's limit 1 per person. So go away, scalpers. But yeah. So that's this weekend. And all this crap will go up online shortly. In fact, it will go up online Thursday for us. I'm trying.
So much stuff.
You know, if the shirts were bigger, I might get the Metal Greymon or Tyrannomon one, but those shirts are not going to fit me. I have doubts they would fit AR, in fact, with the size.
Yeah, I've run into problems with that.
Japanese clothing sizes run pretty small.
Japanese extra large, I think, is a bit smaller than an American large. I'm not even sure this would fit you, AR.
Yeah, it might be tough.
Yeah.
One thing I have done for shirts that I wanted to get for my partner, I basically cut them off and made them as like a giant iron-on patch onto a bigger shirt or a hoodie.
Now, so here's what's weird. The Metal Greymon art, I'm 99% sure is new. The Tyrannomon art, I'm like 80% sure because it feels like we've seen art of Tyrannomon like this before.
Very similar.
Yeah.
I think it's new, but it's close enough. I'm not sure. Metal Greymon, I think it's new, but again, it's hard to tell. And then everyone's favorite topic, cards. So first off, we get Parallel for Fighter Mode Black. I love that the new art leans into giving him some unique touches. So we get like the weird sort of fucking tail. The mouth's open, and we get like almost like a Junji Ito mouth.
Yes.
And
because before it was just like, okay, just recolor part of the armor black.
Did you notice the other one, which we missed on the original card? The gem on his forehead's an eye now.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
It's like an Eye of Sauron type thing. But yeah, I don't think we noticed that at all on the other card, did we?
Not at all.
I think we're all focused on the fucking teeth. Yeah.
And I think the other dead Digimon in the background or
Yeah.
whatever.
And then parallel art for Examon, which shows him very large, which also does. I liked seeing people try to argue about that chart Bandai made a few years ago about the size. Like, Examon isn't this large. I don't care. This is just neat.
Yeah, this is very
The big boy.
very kaiju. Yeah.
Yes. I think what makes it work the best is like the fog and cloud
Mhm.
Yeah,
stuff.
it's like that atmospheric distortion.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's like that far away.
Yes. And I think there's a lot of well-known Dragon Digimon here. I think the one that works the best is Volcanic Dramon, because we know how big that motherfucker is, and they put him in a position where like we can see him like drowning size-wise. So like I'm really happy with that. Then they reveal the box topper for the parallel card from another set. It's shocking. It's Dragon Mode Black. We didn't see this coming. Hyper Coliseum themed. And then they have 60,000 subscribers, so they put. I don't remember if this was new art or not, to be honest.
I don't recognize it.
I don't either, but there's been so many cards of these two, or that could have fit. I don't know. I think it's new though. And then we have our first details for Starter Deck 14, Advanced Deck Beelzebumon, and I really look forward to seeing if this is worth it, because it is like twice the price of any other starter deck.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I mean, that's not a ton. That ends up being about like 2,000. That ends up being about like
no,
$25. But like,
ridiculous.
if it's twice as much, some data has suggested that it will be like a deck with enough cards where you can swap stuff in and out.
Or maybe
So-
it comes with sleeves too.
I feel like one of them did come with sleeves. Maybe the starter one. I don't remember though. But yeah, so
That wouldn't double the price though. Like even
If they're
Well, here's-
sparkly enough.
here,
Yes.
yeah. See, that's the thing is they throw shit in there and they say it's exclusive shit, and that's why the price is higher. You can only get them with that deck.
I suppose.
I'm not saying it's a good idea. I'm just saying it's possible. I'm not saying I prefer that. So that's October 28th. And then they announced the 25th anniversary crap, because it is always crap. So first up, a new memorial collection set for the 25th anniversary. This includes the 12 pieces of new art they talked about being at the museum. I love it. I will say I would have much preferred like prints.
Yeah.
Like, looking at these, I can see 1, 2. I can see 5 I would consider getting prints of. Without me saying, what do you think the 5 are?
It is not loading for me, so
Yeah.
Let me see if the picture should load. I think it's a database oddity. Second. There you go. Actually, 6 I would consider getting. So which 6 do you think it is?
ooh.
Mm.
Definitely the Metal Greymon.
Yes, that's one of them I would consider.
I don't know, they're all so fun.
Okay,
Yeah.
the ones I would consider, and here's the thing, I expect a print wouldn't be cheap either. So I'm not saying like I dislike any of the art. It's just a matter of, okay, if they throw up a $50 or an $80 print, what would I at least consider? Agumon,
Mm-hmm.
Greymon,
The
Oh,
Greymon's kind of
Tyrannomon.
Yeah, Gaimon's kind of to me.
See, I think it's one where if you don't have the stuff on it and you just have it on a wall, though, it would look nicer.
Yeah.
Tyrannomon. Mamemon, I really like that. It's just a goofy shot of him.
Yeah, that's a good one from Amemon.
Dev already called Metal Greymon, and then Devimon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, nothing that wild. So those are up for pre-order now. Pre-orders close about 2 weeks. They ship in November. And then on top of that, I don't know if this is amazing or this is stupid as fuck. Sleeves themed after the V-Pets.
Yeah.
Wait, it gets stupid. Are you ready? So you get both sets with it, and it's relatively affordable at basically $12. Are you ready for why it's stupid? if you look at do you notice anything interesting from the image?
I notice they're oriented the wrong way.
Well, no, that's to fit them. But do you notice anything interesting about the V-Pets themselves? They're not photos. Sasasi drew them.
Oh.
Oh, it's artwork. I thought it
Yes.
was.
It's artwork of the dude who, for the card game, people love when his art shows up of stuff. He's the one who doesn't normally draw for Digimon, but he draws a lot of the card game, so he often does like wilder stuff. This is him, as far based on what I saw him mention on Twitter. It appears he drew these.
I thought it was a fucking photo.
No, that's what I thought at first also. I noticed later they're drawn. I'm like, okay, that's kind of neat. But it's like, it's actually like one of the card game artists, like one of the good ones. So it's kind of weird, don't you think? And then we finally are getting the illustration cards from the competition. They will be at the museum. They will also be given away at Tamer meeting events in August, and there'll also be a new battle pack. Someone pointed out, I think it was the Megalo Gromon card is like a scene from one of the Wonder Swan games. And then they also for a one of their web events, they'll sell some stuff early, and they also tease they'll be selling a set of Frontier cards.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's in that memorial set format, so we're probably gonna get 8 to 12. So I'm curious to see what they got, because I don't think we have all like the characters you'd want a Frontier set to have, do we? I feel like some of them are still missing at this point. There's been so many cards, it's hard to like remember. But so I'm interested.
Every week is a wave of cards.
Yes, so I'm interested in seeing, and we also have all the clean images from Booster Set EX3 and various recent promo cards. I was confused because they put up the first 3 Memorial Collection. I was like, have they really not put these up yet? Some of these are like a while back, like the artsy flower dessert one.
Okay, I remember that.
Or like the Tamers fighting game one. Like those were all like from DigiFest last year, weren't they? Like I think that's when they went up.
I know it was a while ago, but I don't remember exactly when.
Yeah. So yeah, EX3 stuff's done. Fun Digica did a match. Card Battle also did a match. It was a nice calm week for those shows because that's all they had to do. And then it got weirder with the Tower of Saviors event began, and a lot of Digimon stuff. I went to too much effort to make sure like this was all here. So, and it gets weirder. It's in the English one. And I decided, okay, fine, I'll try the app once. I go in. I actually see some of the Digimon stuff, and one of the matches I do, the stuff's there. I'm like, okay, it's there. It's not. We are not getting this event in the US. So I'm not exactly sure. It's specific to like a few countries in the English version. I think all Asian region. So apparently certain things show up based on what other players are doing. So some of those things are showing up for people in the US or outside of those regions. And somehow I ended up with like one bonus stage of it. Because if you look at my post, I'll even say like, the interface was confusing. I really couldn't find anything after the first match. No one else can either. I'm not even sure people found the first match that I did. So yeah, lots of art. Not even all the obvious ones. Like I like so we get the 8 like we thought, like you'd expect. Then we get Vmon and Wormmon and D3s, Devimon and Lady Devimon, the Dark Masters. I'm curious to see what else will show up.
I really like the Dark Masters art.
Am I wrong, or is this all traced off other art? I like it. I like most of this art feels like we've seen it. Like the Garurumon.
It feels like Anime Plus.
Like the Metal Garurumon art. Wasn't that one of the shots of the model kit?
Feels like it.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's all.
But it's been years, so there's only so many poses you can put one character in without it being repetitive.
But yeah, so I got to do one match with Digimon stuff and then be very confused enough. It's one of those games that's very loud to try to get you excited. And I sat there going, it's my first match. I'm getting like scores into the billions. And after that match, I was already I had leveled up to like level 5 or level 6 after one match. And I'm like, yeah, I don't need to play this anymore. Yeah. So, and then
Prep your assets. That's all we need.
And then talking about games getting stupider, it's Digimon RPG. So, okay.
Wow.
So this question came up a few times just in the past was why wasn't I reporting on this? And it's because of like how, not that the news itself was stupid, but like the reporting on it was completely worthless for verifying anything. It was like they weren't tweeting about it themselves. It was one random fan who was running a Digimon RPG fan account. And apparently you could go in a Discord and get official information, but I wasn't going to do that. And then the dates kept changing. So it's like, okay, the game has launched. I have verified it exists. I will report on it. I wrote about it. And then I went to check one more thing and the page wouldn't load anymore. And other people are having the same issues. By the time I wrote the thing, there were already 3 notices about problems and things going down temporarily.
Fantastic.
I think it's such an old game. They shouldn't be having this many problems.
Well, that's the other thing. Is like people
it's
are
such
still
an
having
old
issues.
game,
Yeah,
so
that's
it's
the thing.
going to cause problems.
That's the thing.
It's going to be problematic.
Yes.
It's going to have problems in 2022.
Multiple people point out they basically have not changed anything. Like it's so people were having issues.
Like,
the
what
server
kind
was
of
going down.
systems were these supposed to be running on?
Say this would have been XP.
XP.
And in fact, probably would have been compatible with 98.
Yeah, stuff running on Windows XP does not do well today.
In fact, I'm pulling this page back up because I want to see something which I just thought of. And the page crashed my browser, so I'm reopening the one that I have the chat in. So 1 second. I wanted to see it. Okay, wait. Game info. Okay. What do you want to hear first? Minimum or recommended specs?
Recommended.
Okay.
Overclock this sucker.
No, okay. I'm going to go in reverse, though, because if I say the first thing, you're going to laugh. We'll do this in reverse. The graphics card needs 16 megabits of memory.
Jesus.
The hard drive needs 1 gigabyte of space.
Ooh.
RAM, 128 megs. They recommend for the CPU a Pentium 3. And are you ready for the operating system? This is why I had to do this last. I'm going to go in reverse order. And
please. It's like I know. I think I know what you're gonna say, but I hope it's something even better.
And these aren't in the right order. I'm doing a reverse order from what they've listed.
Okay.
Windows 2000. Windows XP.
Yep.
Now I'm going to skip the funniest one and say Windows 98.
Yep. Okay. Good. I'm glad that was one of the ones I was.
What would be the funniest one to list?
NT.
Vista?
No. ME.
Oh, ME, yes.
The one that they only sold for like 1.5 years because it didn't work correctly because it was like cobbled together from different parts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, are you ready for minimum then? Only 2 things are different for minimum. Minimum is only Windows 98, and graphics card is 8 megabits of memory.
Oh.
Do you need DOSBox to play this?
To be fair, DOSBox would run better than the game has, as far as I can tell.
Probably would.
Yeah. But yeah, so... And here's the thing. We mock because we love. If you're playing and enjoying this game, we have nothing negative to say.
I have DOSBox. I've played DOSBox games like a couple of weeks ago.
I play games on DOSBox all the time. If you're getting joy out of this, we're all perfectly happy.
I was hanging out with the voice of Duke Nukem all weekend. I'm totally good with DOSBox.
It's just really fucking weird because, like, Masters is there. Super Rumble, we assume, will come out at some point. Did the remaster of Masters come out, or is it still the old one?
As far as I know, it's still the same.
Because like they were moving that to Unreal Engine, and it was like, but they're still running this. It's very odd. So yeah, if you're playing it, let us know how it is. I'm not gonna fucking play it, but I admit I am curious. Like, is there joy to be had?
I just want to see it. Like, what does this damn thing look like?
Oh, have you never seen what this looks like?
I don't think I've seen.
Oh
I'll
no!
Google it later.
Oh
but...
no! We need to get your reaction to this.
Okay.
Holy shit! I'm just gonna find a single. It is. I'm just gonna find.
I feel like it's gonna be like a Wonder Swan game.
No, okay, I'm grabbing one image. It is exactly what circa 2000 RPG or MMO is. Like, exactly.
Oh my god, that is. Jeez.
Yeah.
That's
like,
some StarCraft BS.
Like, isn't this like? As far as I know, it looks basically identical to this nowadays.
I feel like I want to summon a Zerg Rush just looking at that.
No, and that's why I'm like, oh no, you can't. You don't get to fucking do this offline. You have to do this right now.
Yep.
Oh no. Oh wait, there's a screenshot on the official page of the town area. There you go. And there the chat goes.
Come on, load.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is exactly. Wait, how is it only version 1.01? This game is 20 years old. Did they start the numbering over for us?
They crushed it the first time. They never needed to update.
But yeah,
it was that good.
But yeah, if you play it, honestly, send us an email of how it is to play. Because we're not gonna fucking do it. I mean, I think I speak for us.
If I had the time, I'd still be playing Ragnarok.
Okay,
which is my go-to MMO.
Yeah. I think that covers one of the questions also. Someone's like, are you going to play that? It's like, no.
No.
Yeah. And then Bandai sent me Survive shit. Oddly, nicer than the stuff they sell for a lot of Digimon stuff, I'll say.
Yeah, right?
Like the backpack's fine. The keychains are expected nice. The utensil set I don't get. Mine said it goes with the bento box, I'm sure, but still, like, it seems kind of weird.
Yeah, it's like, here's some wooden cooking utensils.
Yeah. And then
and
then the single most useful item that Bandai has ever done for Digimon.
The water bottle?
Here's the thing. It's a proper vacuum bottle.
Ooh.
And it has a stainless steel thing that clips into the top, so either ice won't fall out, or if you infuse drinks, you don't have to worry about them spilling when you drink.
Huh. That is surprisingly useful.
And here's why it is useful. I have a few bigger ones that I use, but a couple times I've been like, I should probably find a slightly smaller one. And this is exactly like the size I would have gotten for a smaller one. So that's actually useful. And Survive is out later this week, and people already have it. So escape the internet while you can.
Do not click on the thing when it do not click on the hashtag when it trends on Twitter like it's doing every other day now.
Yeah.
Rocks fall, everyone dies.
And then
Dav!
Don't you love when unexpected products show up? A new BN figure of 2020 Hikari and Angelmon. Very nice. I'm not spending $1,000.
Me either, but it's pretty.
Yeah, when I saw this figure, I went, for half a second, Dev is going to be tempted. It's only going to be the price that stops her.
And you are absolutely correct.
Yeah, like if this was $350 or $400, I think you'd figure out a way. Like that's the absolute maximum where you would try to figure out a way. Like if this were $250, you would have ordered it before I said anything to you.
Yeah, more than likely. Well, the only thing that throws me off is I just don't like the adventure logo on the front.
I think
it feels tacky.
I think that can be removed. Because, like, you can see the shit underneath it. And I don't think they're doing it for Hikari, but the Tai Chi one, didn't that have, like, you could somehow, like, disconnect the arm and put on a different Digivice arm? Like, one was activated? For the War Greymon Tai Chi one? I think it had 2 arms.
I can't quite remember. I just know that was gigantic and excessive.
Yeah. Oh, and this is roughly the same size.
Yeah, but also it's Angelamon.
And don't worry, if you go to Big Bad Toy Store and buy it, which I think they're the only ones I looked at that were importing it. It's only a 150 undeductible, non-refundable fee,
Ooh.
which makes sense. It's not a cheap figure,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they're only
You
making
gotta be committed.
they're only making under 500 of them. So yeah, if you want it, awesome. Better be committed. Although to be fair, they have the Omegamon Dine action, and that has a deposit also.
Can't wait to see how they package the wings on this one.
Oh, these look a lot thicker.
Yes, these like are these look like properly built wings, not like the ones where they went, them titties too big, which was what their like. Here's the thing, that was like their excuse for why they weren't going to sell it, and we know that's bullshit.
Blame it on the titties.
Yeah.
Titties caused the rest of their wings to explode in transit.
Yeah. The funny part is the Dine Action one, while it does have a deposit, it's a much smaller deposit. It's $30.
Well, it's probably like a percentage of.
Well, it's basically I think all their deposits are like 10 to 20%. So yeah, that fits in. And then it's our favorite topic, everyone.
Oh no.
Frontiers having a karaoke collaboration.
I didn't see these originally,
So
I'm going to be reacting to these live.
So here's the weird thing I'll say with one. I never like any of these collaboration drinks. Period. To be clear.
No,
but
no,
looking,
horrifying.
But
in general,
looking at the photos, these are not as horrifying as they tend to be. But
nothing
they still
visually they're not as bad. No.
Yes, visually they look more like actual beverages and not like someone vomited into a cup.
You like blue curacao?
Yeah, but like this one is all color and weird frozen shit. Like Takuya gets blood orange syrup, wild berry syrup. They mix with soda water and they top it with a frozen strawberry.
Frozen strawberry.
Yes.
That doesn't sound bad.
No, it doesn't. Then Koji gets curacao syrup, strawberry syrup. They mix it with tonic water and top it with frozen pineapple. So I would like. Here's the thing. I would like to say this. I like tonic water, but and I've liked tonic water since I was a little kid. Tonic water is an old man drink that should not be in any beverage that like anyone who wants to be cool drinks. Like you can't like go with your friends to karaoke and like everyone's like
drink tonic water.
Like I want the blood orange juice syrup, the berry syrup mixed out with some soda water, frozen strawberry. And the next person like, get me some frozen pineapple, some curacao syrup, some strawberry syrup, and mix it with tonic water. Although I'm weird because I drink the tonic water straight up.
Oh. My dad mixes it with like Bailey's Irish Cream.
Huh.
But yeah.
Yeah.
And that is Izumi's is very much the drink needs to be purple or pink.
Well, yeah, they all need that's the first. I think they feel like they just like they deconstructed from the colors.
Yes. We get curacao syrup, Kyoho grape aid mixed with Calpis, and topped with a cherry. I don't have the words for the joke. Now, Junpei is the one where I feel like there's a failure with Junpei. So, mango jelly, blue curacao syrup, Ramune syrup mixed with soda water and topped with a lemon slice. This needed chocolate. That was his whole fucking thing.
Don't curse the drinks yourself. They're cursed enough as they are.
Okay, Tomoki is the one where it feels like they get a little more into the character personality a little bit. Blue curacao syrup, emerald pineapple syrup, mixed with pineapple juice on top of vanilla. It's disgusting, but the ice cream feels like it fits him.
Yeah.
But it sounds disgusting, doesn't it? Pineapple juice, pineapple syrup, curacao
pineapple
syrup.
Float.
Yes. And then let's jump to the Frontier 20th anniversary drink, because before we do the stupid one. So the Frontier 20th anniversary drink.
Those weren't already the stupid ones?
Yeah. Oh, trust me, it gets stupider. Curacao syrup mixed with CC lemon and topped with an orange slice. There's no effort on this one, and they put an orange slice there. That's Frontier to a T.
Oh.
It's a bit, the pieces are there, but it's a bit lazy, and something's fucking missing.
That's like the basic bitch drink.
Yes. And now, are you ready for the stupid one? Koichi. This is Dev,
This
you
is the
you you
worst.
used your term too early, Dev. Are you ready? Oolong tea mixed with peat syrup, and they put a single Pocky stick in it.
Single Pocky stick.
Why would you put
Why?
basically a pretzel stick
Ah,
into a fucking drink?
but here's the thing. It's coated in chocolate, so the stick will not get mushy. Like
But then you have chocolate.
No, absolutely. So here's the thing.
Oolong.
This drink is very stupid. They could have made it work if they did one thing. There has to be something in there that you actually need to stir the Pocky with. And you can't say the syrup because all the other drinks have syrup and you can't stir them up.
Yeah.
Like if they had like
This sounds utterly disgusting.
oh they absolutely do. I'm just saying.
You have to stir in the tears from Koichi's backstory.
And also, since Ian's commenting that he's not sure peach and chocolate would go together, you wouldn't have to like have Junpei's be peach. I don't think his has any peach in it anyways. But like it feels like his needs to be a chocolate drink. Like that's the whole character's shtick.
How do you that frightens me, because then how do you make that like blue and yellow?
Well, because the mango jelly's probably yellowish, so it kind of makes a green with the blue curacao syrup. Ramune syrup's blue, and then mix it with soda water. So it's all stuff that's some type of blue.
No, I mean, how
and
do you
yellow.
get how do you turn chocolate into blue and yellow is what concerns
Oh,
me.
no. You know what? Okay, are you ready? Instead of topping it with a lemon, you top it with a single Andes mint. But the reverse ones, the ones that are like the neon green on the outside. Come on. I could make...
No.
It's like a single Andes mint. It's Junpei. You want to stir that sucker with a Twix bar.
I could make karaoke drinks as a career. Just put a single mint here. Instead of a Pocky, just instead of Pocky, an entire Wetzel's pretzel on top. But the Wetzel's pretzel will be like on a stand on top of the drink, and you get like a crazy straw so you can get your mouth on the drink without touching the pretzel.
You need to start working convention room parties.
And then, so there's can badges, there's mini shikishi, there's acrylic stands. They're giving shit away. We're not talking about the karaoke anymore. We spent enough time on the drinks. And then...
You can sing, too.
Yes. Poll ended. I don't find these results shocking at all. I think anyone who is like... Because here's the thing. People are like, how's Agumon first? Metal Greymon is first. Agumon being third makes sense because, like, Metal Greymon, Agumon, and Greymon are all the same people voting. I think I even called this a couple weeks ago. That like that's the same. Yeah, Tyrannomon being second doesn't make sense because VPET fans like him. I feel bad for Devimon.
Yeah,
I don't feel bad for Merimon because I think it was I think it was one of you.
So
I think one of you even called that Merimon was like the booby prize on this one. Like no one was going to vote for it.
Yeah,
I think that was. Yeah, I think I said that.
Yeah, I think that was UAR, and I think Dev said. Mamemon was going to be in the bottom half. And I think I argued that, people like Mamemon. And Mamemon's like right at the bottom.
Yeah, but they like the other ones better.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. And that's kind of like the thing you have to keep in mind is it's always one vote.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then we get the nice bundles. So first off, it appears the Survive demo will be at the Digimon Museum, and they will have the postcards and the can badges there. Then a bit more anniversary stuff. Frontier got some social art because the movie was the 20th anniversary. I don't remember those characters being happy in the movie. Do you?
Not really. They were actually very angry.
I need to look at this.
And then Redigitize 10th anniversary. It gets social art.
I'm still sad we didn't get.
I have an issue with this art. Do you know what the issue is with the Redigitize one?
I'm happy.
No, I'm 99% sure that Agumon we've seen in art before.
It does look familiar.
Like the other three, I believe are new, but the Agumon I swear is from some other art, and like they've changed his eyes a little. But like I swear we've seen like an Agumon with his hands up like that in this social art before. Like Taiga and Rina are definitely new.
Yeah.
And I believe Vivi's new art also, I think.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that Agumon's altered from existing artwork. And then Nutatex put up art for the episode, which looked good. And a few days before that, they put up art of Ruli and her friends.
That's pretty.
Yeah. She doesn't even give me full responses anymore when I ask permission to post these. Because originally, like, she'd give nice full written. Then she realized I was just gonna politely ask every time. Now I get like a like to my message or just like a quick sure. When she realized that I was actually going to politely ask every week and not just assume that it was a yes going forward. I like both of these. These are both good. I think the Ruli and her friends is the better one though. I think partially because I would like Ghost Game to have more personality.
Well, it just goes to the idea that all the promo art and social art of Rudy is always more interesting than her actual character in the show.
Yeah. And then profile art, we get Lamortmon, and then they put up Manticoremon and Darkmon last night, which that's where they pointed out that she has not been in animation for 20 years. And they also pointed out it's Manticoremon's first anime appearance, which makes sense because he didn't exist like 2 or 3 years ago. It was the.
It's just a question of whether he got snuck into the reboot or not.
I was gonna say it's the Pendulum Z, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And then we have questions, so you guys in chat can throw those up. Well, we start with the ones that were sent ahead of time. Someone wants to know what happened with the Ghost Game screenshot previews. They feel like I'm putting up less of them. They changed the way they did their marketing tweets, which changes my effort. For Adventure, most of the time what they did was Thursday, and when I say a day, I'm talking about for me. Thursday night, they would put up the first batch of screenshots. Then Friday night they would. Then Friday, very, very late Saturday, they would put up the third batch most of the time. And then I'd put up all those at the same time the night before.
And they also did like extended previews.
Of
what was at the end of the episode.
Well, those I still put up the episode previews after the show airs. They're not extended anymore, but they still put those on Twitter or YouTube. I'm talking about like the screenshot previews the night before is what they seem to be asking about.
Okay.
Ghost Game, they've significantly changed how they do them because I think they're more advertising around the VOD. So now what they do is Friday night they put up the first batch a bit early, and then they put up the second batch right as the show's starting in Japan. They put up the third batch as the show's ending in Japan. At that point, I'm not going to the effort to go like revise the article with 8 more screenshots. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you just go on Crunchyroll and watch the whole episode at this point.
Yeah, it's one of those things where the idea was the night before I'd put up whatever screenshots are available as previews. And I still do that, but now it's 4 instead of 8 or 12. Juggernaut wants to know, is Ghost Game doing good in Japan? We have... I would say...
Not as good as Curious George, apparently.
To be fair, 2020 didn't do... You can't beat that fucking monkey,
Nothing
Dev.
beats the monkey.
So, here's how my feeling based on what I see is, it is the Tamers to Adventure.
It's doing good enough.
It exists is what I would say until we have actual information, and hopefully we'll have some soonish.
And merchandise, please give me gem figures.
Then someone wants to know if we had a bye week, what, and we were going to talk about a movie instead of what movies do we think would be on the short list. I guess
whatever you send us.
Oh, see, I didn't even think about that as the mystery box. I thought like us picking movies was what they meant.
Oh.
Okay.
So I was gonna say let's each pick like a theoretical movie that would be on the list. I feel like mine. I think we joked about it being on the short list was Belle because someone asked about it before.
Oh yeah.
Because that's kind of like a few dimensions off Digimon. So I guess what would you guys pick if you were to make a short list of one title?
Do they have to be new ones or one that we've already watched?
They just said, well, I've seen Belle. I worked on Belle, in fact. So I definitely have seen Belle. So let's assume it does not have to be new.
Premiere.
Ooh.
Oh,
I don't.
that's a
Yeah,
good choice. That's a good
I
choice.
can't think of one that would be like podcast interesting.
AR's choice is Rise of Skywalker.
God.
Why would you do this to us?
Why would you do this to us, AR?
The entire all 9 movies. Let's go. Do it in an hour.
Then someone wants to know who are our favorite characters in Cyber Sleuth / Hacker's Memory.
You go first.
Like I
I know
fucking
mine.
remember the characters.
That's why I want you to go first.
Like I remember Nokia. I remember Alphamon Lady. Kurikow? What's her name? I don't remember it. Kuroko. I'm close.
Yeah. The Alpha
Mirai
girl.
because purple.
Yeah, sure, Mirai.
That's a good
Here's the problem.
choice.
There aren't like that many wild characters in those games. Like
Actually,
I didn't get to play all of it yet.
I think there are, honestly. Between both games, I think there's a pretty sizable roster to choose from. I would say my 3 favorites are Erika, Nokia, and Date, the cop. I liked
okay, I forgot like 2 of those characters existed. I forgot Date existed.
That's because Erika and Date really only get brought out in Hacker's Memory. I mean, Erika only exists in Hacker's Memory. Date, you get even more appreciation for Date in the second game.
Okay. The next question. Oh wait, Dev, did you say anything, or did you like just be silent thinking we'd move on?
Dev said Mirai.
Okay, she did
Yes,
say
Mirai.
Okay, like
I did not play enough of Cyber Sleuth because I've had no time, and then I keep getting distracted.
my brain froze and couldn't remember what she said. So the next question, part of the question was, were we going to play RPG? And I feel like we've answered that solidly.
Yeah, probably.
And then they want to know.
I might, if I get really bored, I might check it out in morbid curiosity, but that's difficult to do with an MMO.
And then they asked, are we going to be playing Digimon Survive when it first comes out?
I'll try to.
The answer to that is coin flip, because my answer is actually very simple, simply based on pragmatism. A lot of stuff to do this weekend for Digimon stuff, discotheque stuff. I have a few episodes of something to watch tonight. I don't have any other discs to do stuff for on hand, but more could show up. And I believe my game is being delivered tomorrow from Amazon.
Yeah, I'd like to play it right away. I don't know if I'll have the time to.
Okay, so you fell into the same zone as me. Is you'd like to, but it's purely schedule. Like
I want to play it right away.
Yeah.
Honestly, same, but also I gotta wait for payday either way.
Okay. I have a physical Switch copy coming, and I may try to grab a PC copy if I can find a good cheap key on Green Man Gaming or Fanatical if there's a discount, just so I can like let people know if it will run properly, if it's worth. Because PC ports of console games can sometimes be wonky, and I'm stupid enough to actually care to let people know if it's worth their effort. So I may try to do that, or see if Bandai will send me a key like they did for Cyber Sleuth. So I'm getting Switch physical. AR, I believe you had decided on Switch. Were you going to get physical or digital?
I prefer to get physical if possible. I don't know if that'll be possible though, so we'll see what happens.
Dev, if and when you get it, what system are you going to get it for?
Switch and physical, because I would like to play it on PC theoretically, just because it would be easier to do like screenshots and streaming it.
That's
for Wikimon. Yeah.
So here's the thing: it actually is very easy to screenshot on Switch. They're just really shitty quality.
Mm-hmm.
That, and it's a pain in the ass to get the screenshots off of the Switch.
Oh no, Dev, do you bite your nails and then like trying to get the micro SD card out?
No, I mean I do bite my nails, but no, it's just like annoying.
No,
transfer them over.
Yeah, I bite my nails, so like I'm trying to like get the SD card out.
Yeah.
No, I do the thing where it turns itself into like a Wi-Fi hotspot, and you have to like transfer the screenshots to your phone. It's a pain in my goddamn ass.
Oh, you do that? I have an SD card reader at like sitting on my desk.
I do not, and also my computer likes to cook itself now, so I
Ah.
can't do anything too strenuous on it.
See, that my current computer, my last computer had an overheating issue. So my actual goal with this computer was good heating for the summer, and it's working.
Yeah, I can't afford that at the moment
Okay.
because I picked out all the stuff I wanted, but it's like,
Yeah.
ouch.
Yeah, mine was running at like 70C idle last summer.
Mine just shuts itself off.
Yeah. Okay. Scale wants to know, do we think we'll see Lamort and Galoose have a confrontation? I don't see how they don't, to be honest.
Oh, really?
Like,
I mean, I think I suppose if it's a case of Gulus is going wild again, at some point, Lamort and Thetis will have to try to intervene.
no, that's what I mean.
That I can see happening.
Do you see any possibility?
I don't think it's going to be a case where it's like they're both
One-on-one?
going to see
No.
how, one-on-one they're going to try to out crazy
No,
each other.
but I'm just saying they will definitely have a confrontation. It's just,
They better.
yeah.
I don't see
Ghost
them having a
Game.
tea party.
Okay, and last chance for you guys to do
That's
questions
Angorama.
as we get near the end here. So I want to know, what are some of our favorite comfort foods?
Bubble tea.
Italian beef.
I'm trying to think of mine, because like mine's like,
Dev, what did you say?
I think she said bubble tea. I think
Bubble tea.
Oh, okay.
That and tonkatsu, because I can make an absolutely
Yeah.
mind-blowingly good tonkatsu.
Most of mine are just like, I'd like to order a pizza or nuggets or whatever, because like the thing that's actually like comfort food for me is too much effort. It's like a stuffed mushroom that family ate as a kid.
Yeah.
That's just a pain. It's not comfort food if you have to like sit there and do it yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like going to like a family party where someone else made Spanish rice that took 7.5 hours to cook.
Yeah, exactly. I think you cut out, Dev.
I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay. You did. Okay, yeah. But yeah, that's one of those things where like it's comfort food. It's like sit down, have nice popcorn while watching a movie. You know, basic stuff like that.
Oh, that and takoyaki, but
yeah. Dev, are all your favorite stuff that absolutely like just takes a god awful amount of time and effort to do properly?
Yes, which is why I usually pay other people to make it.
Yeah, the problem is the mushroom thing is a recipe that's specific from one specific cookbook years ago, and I copied it before the cookbook was lost. So it's like I'm the only person who has. I'm sure it exists somewhere out there, but like no one's making that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then okay, last question in the room before we do the last actual one. Someone wants to know, how do we think various characters strength-wise will be against Galoose? I would assume Galoose would be stronger than Lamort and Tethys, and
just depends what the plot dictates.
And Canna Weissman
probably going to be Galoose being stronger.
And Canna Weissman doesn't matter because we would probably only see him in a battle of the mind.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't matter if it's Canna Weissman or Gammamon because it is what it's going to be. And last one, the person demanded no last-minute wild guesses. They want to hear real guesses for DigiFest.
Won't make my guess is that it won't make the news on ANN this year.
To be fair, they're doing an audio drama and they're going to stream it.
Nope, calling it.
Okay, I'm
calling it that it won't matter this time.
No, because here's the thing. They could announce something that gets there, just not that. I have the ultimate guess, and I'm 100% correct, and no one can say I'm wrong. They're going to announce the title of the O2 movie. I'm
going out on a limb there.
That out?
So here's the stupid part. We're joking that I'm going on a limb. It actually is possible they weren't going to announce it there. They were just going to show the clip, and they were going to announce it a few days later.
I think they have to.
Oopsie.
Yeah.
I think they have to now.
Yeah. Like that's something we won't ever know because they could have decided to do that one like a week or two later to keep the news going. And at this point, they sort of have to. But a real guess, I think they have to tell us where Ghost Game is going. I don't mean like story-wise, but like, is it going to end? Is it going to keep running? Because here's the thing. Realistically, I feel like there's three options. Because I don't see Ghost Game as a could run forever show. I don't. I think the three options are it ends in October. which I'm not sure I find likely. More
Yeah.
likely is it runs until January or April because they eventually have to push stuff that time slot back to spring. They don't have to do it with Ghost Game, but doing a further core from what you would expect so that the next show only has to also do another core, I think makes sense. So I wouldn't be shocked if Ghost Game runs until January or April. And we get
And honestly, I think Ghost Game would be better if it is a little longer than like the usual 50 episodes or so.
I will wait to see what they do with those episodes before I comment on that.
It's just that it makes the longer show makes the pacing of it a little more forgivable.
Now, I will say one thing. They just announced a couple days ago that Die is ending like in October, whatever. So if they were going to announce something else that Ghost Game is not going on, this actually would be the exact time to do it.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go ahead and throw the ball and say that January or April. I don't know if they're gonna announce the actual date, but I think Ghost Game's just gonna keep on going for at least a little bit. Dev, what is you honestly not a wild guess but a real one?
I don't know. I feel like we've been doing these every week for like several months, so
No,
I've just stopped giving a fuck.
they've all been wild guesses though. We've been guessing Blu-rays, statues. What is like a real guess? Like not a wild one, like an actual, not out of left field, I guess.
I don't know. I feel like all the guesses I actually made are like within the realm of
That's
reality.
The thing is, we don't spend time thinking about this stuff because I don't
know.
like to make guesses. I just like to see what they give us.
Yeah, I'm
like making predictions is just dumb content filler.
Exact. Here's the only actual like wild prediction I'll do. I would like them to announce more Frontier stuff. I feel like they've been doing a good job of that. Like the Frontier stuff has actually been fun and it's been nice. Maybe more arc though, because they're starting to repeat themselves, which is the one thing I will say. And that is it for questions. AR, how was your convention?
It was very cool. The panel went very well. Ben Diskin did get to join us for 15 minutes, which I greatly appreciated because he had done 2 hours worth of panels and then 2.5 followed immediately by 2.5 hours worth of autograph sessions. And he still popped in for like 10 or 15 minutes to talk Digimon.
Oh, that's nice.
No real, I don't think there was any particular news other than saying that the Chika Sakamoto was a directorial decision. That his Agumon being more Chika than Tom Fawn was a director's decision. I don't know if that had been really clarified, and that he hasn't said how far he's dubbed, but he did mention that he's voicing Blitz Greymon, which means he's aware that Blitz Greymon is involved.
Well, he's always kept an eye on Digimon stuff even before he was on the show, though. So that's something
you can definitely tell that because he definitely told some stories about fighting to make sure Cutemon stays male. I think he's given that story before, but
he definitely has. Like he was a Digimon fan before he was ever involved.
Yes, he went down his rundown of favorite seasons. He's an Adventure Tamers and Sabers fan. Not so much 02 and Frontier.
Yeah, so anything coming up, AR?
I don't think so. Gonna try to get another Remy Watches Atmon on Thursday.
How's that been going?
It's good. We're through episode 16.
Oh, you're almost coming up on the greatest episode to have someone do commentary on.
Yes, I cannot wait for that episode.
They're not allowed to skip it.
Oh, we're skipping that episode.
No, that's the one that needs commentary on, AR. You can't skip it.
There won't be any
That's why it's gonna be funny. That's an episode of the series. It's disrespectful to skip it. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. It's disrespectful.
It's my show, not yours.
Dev, what Wikimon article do you like people to read?
Gigasmon, for no particular reason.
That is random. It's like, Frontier, yay, I guess.
To be fair, like, When are we ever going to celebrate Frontier again?
It's nuts.
Frontier,
Let's pick the worst villain in Frontier.
Frontier ain't getting no anniversary movie. We get the audio drama this weekend, and that's it. We will catch you guys later. Thanks for showing up. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.